Alright, are we ready? Ready as we will be?
This is the big change, huh?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the video you've all been waiting for. First of all, happy birthday, TLEV. Right?
Happy birthday, TLEV.
We've now been doing this officially for 3 years. This is our birthday year. You know, like confetti. It's the big three. We hit 3 years. And with this, you know, we've done a lot this past year, right?
Yeah, definitely. This year's been one of the craziest years that we've had for this channel.
We've covered a lot. We were able to do a lot of things thanks to all of you who've been supporting us.
Viewership, guys.
So first of all, thank you so much for those who have been with us either for the past year, past month, maybe even the past minute. Well, that's, you know,
YOLO.
thank you for being part of this with us. And it's with that we're going to now talk about what this is. What's the big announcement that we've been holding on for the past couple of months? And that is...
We're quitting YouTube.
No.
Oh, jeez.
That's right. Sayonara,
yeah, we're out of
It's
here.
been good, but...
Yeah. No, we're not to that extreme, don't worry. We want to do something different with this channel. We are going from the League of Extraordinary Vloggers to TLEV Media. We also incorporated the neon sign by using the colors of the neon sign. We still relatively have the same set with the new additions, but the focus of this channel, and now what is going to eventually become its own company, is to provide as much diverse content as possible, because we want to be covering not just horror season, but we also want to cover, you know, Christmas, right? We just did Wizarding World at Christmas time.
Which is awesome.
And
Not just holidays. We also want to just get, you know, constructions of new places, you know, like new amusement parks. Maybe we go to movie premieres or something like that.
We just want to keep you guys in the loop of, you know, anything new or exciting that, you know, we definitely think, you know, you guys as our fan base would definitely, like, be into, because, you know, a lot of us are into it as well.
what does this mean for horror, Jose?
So, for those of you who are immediately thinking we're going to jump the gun and we're no longer going to do horror, that is not the case. We are still going to be covering everything, you know, from Not Scary Farm, Halloween Horror Nights, Six Flags Fright Fest, Dark Harbor. You know, we're still going to be doing all these events. We're still going to cover them. In fact, we might even go into more detail with, like, let's say, Knots and stuff like that now, because this was our very first year that we went to Knots, and I think it'd be really interesting to, like, you know, dive more into that. Yeah. You guys are going to be getting more horror content coming later on in the year. So with this change, we are going to be kind of pulling back a bit, but once that season comes around, you guys are going to get the full-fledged horror TLEV that you guys know and love.
And we're still going to be covering events like Monster Palooza, Midsummer Scream, and Scare LA. That's the whole point of this, is that we are going to be doing this media content for all of you to watch and for you to see. But that's also not the only thing, right? One of the things that I mentioned earlier, the reason why we've been showing this skull off is because we're currently working on a short thriller and a short horror film, and it's called Impulse, and to give as much detail as we're willing to give right now, it's going to be a music-based short horror film. And you'll see and you'll learn more about it as we get closer. It's going to be early spring 2019 is when the movie will eventually come out. But that's why we have this skull. It's to show our first horror film. So we're still going to be having horror items on this channel, but we're also going to be doing events like, as we mentioned before, we're going to be doing holiday events. There's also some upcoming premieres that we're going to. That's all going to be on this channel still.
Now, we know that you guys still want all the horror content that you can get, so we'll still have the Pick Your Brain podcast. Pick Your Brain podcast will talk about horror shows that come around, maybe a movie we just saw, or maybe a quick game that we want to do. And then we also do some interviews, maybe with some big people in the future. You know, and that's still going to be around always, because, you know, Thomas and I enjoy doing that. When Josue comes on, he enjoys that too.
The goal is that we want to have more guests on the podcast as well. And in order to do that, we need to rebrand the channel into more of a media, not just a YouTube channel. That's why we're working on a website. It's not done yet. The website is still very much in its beta state, but once that comes out, then we'll show all of you what we mean by this change, right? This TLEV media is the next step. It's the next level. It's still very much us being as involved as we were these past 3 years. Still very much going to be the heart and soul of the League of Extraordinary Vloggers, just shorter name, and that
You
way
don't have to type the whole thing in that section right
Exactly.
now. Now it's just TLEV Media.
Yeah, and or just TLEV, right?
Seriously,
And that comes up too. This is really where we want to let you all know to not be worried that we will still be making as much content as we have in these past 3 years. But for those of you who want bonus content, we are launching a Patreon. This Patreon now, it's going to be very similar to, you know, when you're on the boardwalk and you see a performer and he has a hat there and you give him a little tip. That's how we're viewing this. If you have money to spare and if you want to support this, that's great. Then you have a Patreon.
We're not forcing it on you guys. We're not, you know, we're not going to be like, you know. But if you guys do want to help support the channel, head over to the Patreon. But, you know,
because
up to you guys.
Because with all the funds of this Patreon, that will mean that we can go to these media events, that we can actually start hiring and putting people on board that can help make sure that this content is put out more regularly. It's always a challenge when it's just the three of us, but we want to put as much content out for all of you. And with this Patreon, all the money that is provided through the Patreon is of course going to be directly funneled back into content for this channel, content for this company.
And I definitely feel, of course, as like we talk about all these big changes, we hope that you guys do understand that this is something new for all three of us. You know, this is something that we've never done before. We're all going to be starting on this journey all together.
Right.
So obviously there are going to be a few bumps on the road.
Sure,
And
for sure.
you guys are probably going to notice that. But, you know, we just want you to know to stick with us and, you know, keep on through, because we're going to keep pushing forward, and eventually we're going to get this right.
Absolutely.
And you guys are going to be, you know, you guys are going to be the people that are going to be like, yeah, we saw from the beginning. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us, and we hope you guys are excited for this big change.
Absolutely. And of course, the Patreon link is in the description below. We are going to make a separate video going more in depth on the different tiers of the Patreon. Go check that out when it's out. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to this announcement. Yes, it's a big change. It's gonna be, we don't want you to be scared. It's okay. We're still here. It's still very much gonna be the three of us. No one's getting fired. Mr. E is not going away.
I'm still Mr. E.
Mr. E is
I'm still not allowed on the podcast.
And we'll definitely keep you all posted. So make sure that you're following us on Twitter and on Instagram at TLEV Media.
Ooh.
Those are the new handles. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And of course, I'm Thomas.
I'm Josue.
I'm Mr. E.
We your boys.
Welcome to the new chapter, baby.
There we go. Let's get this show on the road.